Hey everyone, Joe Chaikin from Align Fitness, and today what I want to talk about is the pelvic tilts and the progression that we would use just to help someone understand the movement a little bit better from the very beginning to getting to a more advanced situation. So today we're going to go through 3 exercises as it relates to that pelvic tilt, and then we're going to give you a core stability exercise as well. You can determine on your own which of these 3 works best for you based on how much movement you can actually get. So here's exercise number 1. We're going to just go on your back. And ultimately, with all the pelvic tilting that we're going to do, the idea is to create an excessive forward tilt with more curve here, and then a posterior tilt where we're taking away that curvature at that lower back and basically kind of flattening out the pelvis. So the easiest version is one where you have contact with something stable, which will help provide some stability for you. So right now I've got extra curvature in my lower back on purpose. I just went to that anterior tilt. Now all I'm doing is tucking my pelvis underneath, going into a posterior tilt, and I'm now pressing that lower back just a little bit and gently into the table. When I do this, I'll feel some deeper abdominal, really I guess sub-abdominal or deeper than abdominal muscles turn on when I'm into that posterior tilt right there. So this is our starting point. Sets of 10 to 15 will make the most sense. A progression from there would be one where you go to your knees. So you're just taking away some stability. And if you're a golfer, it makes sense to do this into a little bit of like a forward hinge position. So I'm on both knees. My knees are somewhere around hip to shoulder width apart. Cross my arms over my chest. And then here's my hinge. So I'm sticking my butt back and my torso forward a little bit. And all I'm doing now, again, is exaggerating the natural tilt here. So there's extra anterior. And then now I'm going into my posterior tilt right there. The goal on this, now that I've lost the table, is that I'm not moving much above or below when I do this moving pattern. And when you get off that table, you're going to start to feel a little bit more like direct lower back activation in this anterior tilt where my tailbone's up more. And again, I should feel deep core in that posterior tilt. So the next place is kind of an obvious one is let's take you up to standing. Same exact idea, just a little bit harder because you're less stable. So here's my anterior, here's my posterior. The recommendation would be you go very slow and controlled, so you have a greater likelihood of controlling it. If you go fast, the top half will move and the bottom half will move. All right, last piece of the puzzle. Regardless of which 3 of those that you think makes the most sense for you, there's a core stability exercise that we also recommend. So it basically it's just on your back, going into that posterior tilt and keeping your legs off the ground bent at 90-90 at the hip hinge. So I'll show you really quick. It's just a static hold initially. So you see my 90-90-90. I'm going into my posterior tilt and I'm just bracing, and it's just a static hold in this position. Pretty simple exercise. The progression on top of this would be the dead bug, but I'll have people hold this for somewhere around 30 seconds traditionally. Again, you feel like your deep core is on. You feel a little bit of a contact with the lumbar or low back into that ground. And that's it. So here's your progression of the 3 different exercises we introduced to help show people how to get a better feel and better understanding of how to do your pelvic tilt, and then 1 core exercise to complement it. Give it a try.